It's Tuesday, it's July 8th, and there is, always lots going on in the law. Trooper B was reassigned. So we are going to go to local news, NBC 10 Boston, and talk about Trooper B being reassigned. Mass State Police Sergeant who supervised Karen Reed investigation reassigned. First of all, what's the problem with this headline? Who supervised it? As I recall, he was not the one who supervised. Wasn't it Proctor? He was Proctor's supervisor. He was Proctor's boss. They were partners, but Proctor was the supervisor. Look at this, the little subheadline here. Sergeant Yuri Bukhenik will now be assigned to the Division of Standards and Training. Is this your first choice for standards and training? Or are they teaching him standards and training? Mass State Police Sergeant Yuri Bukhenik, who supervised the Karen Reed investigation, asterisks on that, Trooper Proctor supervised, but whatever, has been reassigned from the Norfolk DA's office, a state police spokesman confirmed yesterday. The reassignment was effective Sunday, state police said. They initially said he had been reassigned to the South Boston Barracks, but later provided an update saying he was transferred on a temporary duty assignment to the Division of Standards and Training. As a sergeant assigned to the Division of Standards and Training Commander's Office, they say he will perform, quote, a variety of administrative functions in support of the division's daily operations. He has been rehomed to a desk. That is not what anyone in law enforcement wants. Applications are now being accepted for the vacancy for the sworn sergeant position in the district attorney's office. Nobody wants to take that job. As the colonel said following the conclusion of the second trial, the events of the last 3 years have challenged our department to thoroughly review our actions and take concrete steps to deliver advanced investigative training, ensure appropriate oversight, and enhance accountability. It's like they just played Scrabble with corporate buzzwords. Under his direction as colonel, the state police has and will continue to improve in these regards. They said nothing that they're doing. Our focus remains on delivering excellent police services that reflect the value of professionalism and maintaining public trust. NBC Boston also reached out to the Norfolk District Attorney's Office, who referred questions about the matter to state police. The move comes less than 3 weeks after Reed was acquitted by a jury of the most serious charges against her in the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully, who formerly led the Norfolk District Attorney's Office Detective Unit, was previously transferred out of the department last year and forced to forfeit 6 days of accrued leave after an internal investigation found that he violated department rules and regulations. Less than a week of vacation. State police found that Tully had failed to supervise or discipline unit members who were involved with inappropriate text messages relative to an ongoing homicide investigation. Trooper Michael Proctor, the lead investigator for the Norfolk District Attorney's Office in the Reed case, was fired in March in connection with his involvement in the case. He has been under fire since testifying at Reed's first trial to sending a series of texts to several people, including state police colleagues and supervisors. He called the text unprofessional and regrettable. He did say that over and over and over and over. In what became a key point of contention in the trial, Proctor acknowledged sending family members, friends, and fellow members of state police, including supervisors, what he said were unprofessional and regrettable texts. Bukhenik testified during Reed's first and second trials and was disciplined afterward by state police last year for failing to reprimand Proctor for his inappropriate text messages. Yes, failure to supervise was why Bukhenik was in trouble. At the end of the day, Trooper Bukhenik has been rehomed to a desk job, and the application process is open for a new sergeant at Norfolk DA's. I imagine that they are going to need quite a few new troopers at Norfolk DA's office to fill out that assignment, because it seems that while Trooper Tully was previously rehomed, Proctor was fired. If they have flushed out everyone that was at Norfolk DA's office, here's what it doesn't undo. It doesn't undo all the cases that they were on up until everyone got reassigned. So while it might start fresh now, all of the cases that are ongoing are going to be a problem. And the Norfolk DA's office is going to have a lot of work to do in the next few years to deal with all of those cases. Well, next year and a half. I don't know what their volume of cases is like, but it's going to be a problem as those cases continue to move forward in their criminal process. Because I guarantee you, Trooper Bukhenik was lead investigator on numerous other cases before this reassignment that happened, what, Sunday, July 6th. How many cases did Bukhenik handle? How many cases did Proctor handle between January of 2022 and July of 2025? They're trying to triage what's a bad situation, but having any of these officers testify is going to be tough because weren't you disciplined for failing to supervise is going to come up every time Bukhenik testifies. So to try to triage it to stop Bukhenik from working on new cases is a solid strategy, but there's nowhere to put him. So I'm not surprised he's on a desk in an administrative division. What went down in the Karen Reed case, in part because it went down so publicly, has informed every defense attorney in the state of Massachusetts, and everywhere, that these are areas that they need to ask about. These are areas of weakness for the prosecution's case. And I have to wonder if the district attorney's office in Norfolk is trying to mitigate the damage. I do not envy them. Then again, I also don't pity them because it seemed that they had a heads up, at least with the Karen Reed case. And I can't imagine it's the only one. Knowing what we know about the Birchmore case, I can't imagine that they weren't aware of some of the issues here, especially when Attorney Lally was getting discovery during trial. This is one of the things, and I've complained about it quite a lot. It is complaints without teeth at all. I don't love the way that this is structured, where the troopers are like embedded in the district attorney's office and assigned to the district attorney's office and investigating the cases that the attorneys are filing. Even at the U.S. Attorney's Office, the divisions of the FBI and what have you that they work with are not in their office. It is too familiar. It can make it harder, I would imagine, to A, spot the issues, and B, break this up. Because if the DAs are day in and day out working hand in hand with the troopers are going to get the benefit of the doubt even when they don't deserve it. And there needs to be more skepticism there when you're the one filing cases, being like, where's the discovery? And to tell the officers, I'm not filing this without discovery. It gets harder if they sit at the desk down the hall from you. It's why there should be some separation here from my perspective. But then again, that's how I worked. That's the way my office operated. And so that's what I was comfortable with. The job of the prosecutor is to step in and find the justice in the middle. And sometimes that's filing a case. Sometimes that's not filing a case. Sometimes that's going to trial. Sometimes that's not going to trial. But it seems the people of Norfolk County have lost trust in their district attorney's office and in their law enforcement. And I feel for them. I really do. And there's a lot more that's going to have to happen to fix this. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss updates on your favorite cases, you're going to need the Law Nerd app at lawnerd.com. That way you can stay in the loop on the cases that matter most to you, and you never know when you're going to catch feelings for a new case. So make sure you get it for free on iOS and Android. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a Law Nerd.